Resorcio, an online bazaar where you can find, share and create resources.
What about the focus of rights? Now, when we talk of rights, we ought to have an understanding of what exactly is feminism also. Now, feminism, it is exactly talking about our identity, understanding the identity. It's about togetherness. It's about the fact that right has to it's not a charity. It is a right, and we have to normalize emotions and question the toxic relations and conceptions and concepts that has existed in our society. Now, as far as the entire rights are concerned, we have to talk of rights actually in a three different manner. We have three secret E's. Now, what are the three secret E's? First one, education. Second one, encouragement. And the third, empowerment. Now, education, that means it starts from the home. That means taking or teaching all of us in the house the concepts of equality. It is not giving, it's not stating that the world belongs to one particular gender. It's not the privilege of a male. It's not the privilege of females. It's not the privilege of transgenders. The world and the space is for one and all. And the society has a lot of misconceptions, as I've already talking about certain very toxic concepts relating to life and rights and the freedom also. So that it must be educated, and lots of information comes from books and teachers and schools. And we're talking about encouragement. That means encouragement also comes from home, the work, the society, the person. And the empowerment comes from erasing the gender blind spots that are within each one of his minds, because there are certain gender blind spots. For example, we've often heard the talk, don't cry like a girl. Now, what's this particular stuff? Don't cry like a girl. Every person is a human being. Every person has to vent their emotions. So all these blind spots we have to question. And how can you question these gender blind spots? Now, teaching about law, teaching about understanding your rights. Now, what are the rights that we have? What are the rights that the genders have? Now, as far as the rights are concerned, basically, it's a wonderful world. It's a world because each gender has their own peculiarity, and each gender has its own beauty and magic. So as far as the females are concerned, the fact is that we have a empty number of laws which talks about rights. Okay, now starting from birth to death, we have laws. Now we are being born into this world with the help of the MTP, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, which talks about, and also PNDT Act, which is very specifically talks about annihilating a person on the basis of gender, on the basis of look. You cannot exercise, you cannot just finish the baby in the fetus itself, in the fetus stage itself. So that is impossible. So now just understand the dichotomy, that illogical situation in which you need a law to protect your life to be born in this particular world. And again, if we just move ahead, what are the rights that you have? You as a human being, you are a human being. You have a right to life, you have freedom, you have dignity, which is being actually narrated and cemented in the very base of the Constitution itself, in the preamble itself. So dignity, all those right to privacy, everything is there for the women. Just like every human being, all rights are there. But how your life is not a mere animal existence. And so law gives you support so that all these rights are being exercised. I was talking about the law that helps you to be born. Now, what is the law that ensures that you get education, You have a right to education, which talks about helping every girl child, which makes right to education a uniform one. So with that, you can access education. Now, if you enter the college, if you enter the colleges, equal space is being given, equal spaces. Your dignity should be respected. All your rights should be respected. And of course, gender discrimination should not be practiced in the spaces where the kids study. And here we have to understand the illogical concepts that these teachers especially try to introduce in the minds. For example, in yesterday years, when as kids, when we used to make noises in the classroom, or when the boys used to make noise in the classroom, the teachers used to say, look, I'll just make you sit near the girls. Look, this is a wrong concept which we try to inject in the minds of the kids out there. That means, look, it is something, it is not right, that particular concept. So every gender has its own space. Now, when you move ahead, marriage, look, marriage is your choice. Right to family, right to marry, and right to found a family, that is your right. You can exercise your choice according to your interest. You can decide if at all you want to marry, when you want to marry, whom you want to marry, and how exactly and to what extent you can move on in the marriage. Now, within the marriage, if you find any abusive treatment, whether it is marital rape, whether it is physical abuse, whether it is emotional abuse, whether it is economical abuse, what sort of abuse is there, you have a law to protect you. That is the protection of a woman from domestic violence. So the act is there, and the act is also narrated persons who can help you out. You have the magistrates, you have the police officers, you have the protection officers who will come to help you. The only thing is that you have to exercise that particular right. And again, if you're being tormented by your kith and kin for dowry related, for dowry, again, you have a Dowry Prohibition Act. Now, the fact is that the presence of law is that you have to exercise the provisions of the law. Now, if you enter your workspaces, now, the fact is that, again, you have a law which the Posh Act, which very clearly talks that women has to work in an environment which is congenial for them. They should not be subjected to harassment in any form of sexual harassment, whether it is the glances, whether it is the whistles, whether it is the remarks, whether it is promises, whether asking for sexual favors, whether threatening the woman for not complying with the demands which is sexually colored, sexually passing sexual images, then passing, like haunting that particular lady. So all these are being prohibited by the Posh Act. And again, the moment you feel that this is not right, such glances, such remarks, the messages that is being coming into my inbox, in the emails, via emails, or in my web, in the personal spaces are wrong, immediately complain the ICC, because Government of Kerala, they have made sure that all the public sectors and the private sectors, they must have an internal complaints committee being constituted, and you can approach the internal complaints committee, and they have to go through the complaint within 7 days. So look, in the workspace also, you have a law to help you out. Now, talk about the property, talk about the succession aspects. Yes, you have laws to protect you. And at times, you also need a little bit of correction also, because my co-panelists will agree that the Guardianship Act, it never recognized the presence of women there. So, and we had to approach the Geeta Hariharan. She had to approach the Supreme Court stating that, look, father and mother are both equal, and it's not only the father who can be considered as the guardian, but, the mother is equally empowered to be considered as a guardian. And again, we can also find instances when suddenly women lose their name, because when they are born, they are being given a name, and the father's name is being taken as granted, The mother's name never find a place, because, and then after the marriage, many women face they have been actually forced to change their name. Look, subjected to, again, at times women are also being compelled to change their name. Look, your identity is the feminism that which we talk about. Feminism, definitely, it is protecting your identity. And of course, we have laws which take strict actions against criminal, against the abuse, against rape, against sexual assault that is being committed on minor kids, etc. We have the POSCO, we have the strict criminal laws which has been enunciated. So the laws, definitely, we have nearly 50 plus legislations which talks about the women's rights and protects the women's rights. But what we really want is awareness as far as the rights are concerned, assertiveness as far as these rights are concerned, and the attitudinal change that must be reflected. The attitudinal change is really, really important, because as I told you, one particular concept that is in the society is cooking is something which is earmarked for the female gender. No, cooking is just a life skill. Any person can learn cooking, and it is not only the women that need cooking. Another concept is that a woman's life is finished when once she is divorced. So why should a woman's life be revolved around another person? Look, each gender have their own space to grow, and they are independent also. And another concept, the attitudinal change that we need as far as the rights, exercising of right is concerned, is that I often hear the statement, women is being given freedom. Now, who are you to give freedom? Freedom is there, is equally there for every person. You can enjoy the freedom. And the fact is that we need persons who try to understand, who try to get along with us. So what I have to mention in this particular International Women's Day is that the choices, the awareness of rights matters, understanding the rights matters, and also implementing the right also matters. And definitely it is our choice to continue in our space, not to lose our identity, and to say no to toxic relations, to say no when we find that the relations have transformed itself into toxic, and of course break the rules, not for creating problems in the society, but break the rules so that we are not burnt in the fire. Break the rules so that we are not drowned in a catastrophic situation. Break the rules so that we are not chained in the fetter forever. So thank you, Maitri. This is what all I can say as far as an intro is concerned. Thank you so much, Maitri, and thank you, Resorcio team, for giving me an opportunity to be a panelist in this session. Thank you.